Oh God, yeah, this is gonna be a rough one. My name is Warren Freeman. This is episode 6 of Warren's vlog, and yeah, I may have stuck my foot in my mouth when I suggested on Facebook that you guys could give me some shows to review, and the shows I got were WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 9, and Halloween Havoc. I think 97. So I had the misfortune of watching WrestleMania 11 today, and it was pretty shitty. I mean, this has got to be the worst WrestleMania that I've ever seen. This match was basically a one match card, but oh, there's so much wrong with this. But I'm gonna get right into it. This was held in Hartford, Connecticut, in the Civic Center. Yeah, that's like where you would hold like a SmackDown or something. I don't know. Maybe this was around the time that WWE was having bad financial troubles or whatever. But it didn't even feel like, you know how you watch WrestleMania and it just feels big. It feels like a big deal, like a huge event. And watching this, I just didn't feel like this was a huge event. It didn't look or feel big to me. Um, but I didn't let that stop me from watching it. So let's get right into it. Get to my notes here. Also, before I jump right into this, I think I've explained the rating system: 0 to 5, 0 being the worst, 5 being the greatest. But I just want you guys to know that I don't pull these numbers out of my ass. Okay, I give each match a rating based on so many different things. Ring work, chemistry between the workers in the ring, psychology. Psychology is a big thing for me. I mean, you can go out there and this is what I was taught when I was trained. You know, you can go out there and do a 450 and then do a swanton and then do a moonsault and do all these crazy things, but it doesn't really mean anything unless there's a reason behind doing it. You know, why does Ric Flair work the leg the whole match? Because he's setting up for the figure four. You know, stuff like that. So it's based on just overall excitement, how much excitement I get out of watching a match, and that's what goes into my rating. And I may have been a tad bit harsh on this show, but damn, I mean, this was a lot of crap thrown at me. So, all right, so let's start off with the allied powers of Lex Luger and British Bulldog versus Jacob and Eli, accompanied by Zebekiah, which I actually had to text fellow Yes admin Harry to confirm that that was Zeb Coulter, and it was. Um, I forgot Vince was on commentary. I just forgot he used to do commentary, and God is he annoying. Oh my God. Oh, Vince McMahon. What a maneuver! Yeah, that guy. And Jerry Lawler is a dick. Like, not the kind of dick like from late 90s to early 2000s that she kind of liked. But Lawler was just, I mean, a legit, just a dick. Like, wow. The whole show. Like, he cracked me up a couple times. But the majority of the show, I was just like, damn, like, he's just really, really negative. But anyway, it seems like Vince loves his tall men. That has not changed throughout time. And these twins were really tall and didn't really do a lot. And you could really tell that Luger and Bulldog were carrying the match. And I swear to God, Nikki Bella is the female Lex Luger. Like, that's one of my conspiracy theories, because I swear Nikki Bella just ripped off his moveset with the forearm and the rack attack is more of a, you know, backbreaker type gimmick, but yeah. So British Bulldog went over on one of the twins with a very impressive sunset flip off the top rope, which for Bulldog to be able to pull that off, that's pretty damn impressive. So, the match was kind of short. It didn't really do anything for me. It wasn't really exciting. I never was a huge Luger fan, and so I gave that match a two. Um, it just wasn't exciting. Um, there was a lot of audio problems throughout the show that factored into just the atmosphere of the show. Um, then we have Vince hit like this fake laugh, and we all crack on Michael Cole for his fake laugh, but God, Vince McMahon's fake laugh is probably the worst thing I've ever heard. And I'll take 1,000 Michael Cole's fake laughs over Vince McMahon's fake laughs. Um, then we go to and I love the fact that Vince McMahon called his own audio team a crack audio team. that that cracked me up. I think the quote was, "I don't know what's going on with our crack audio team," but that was funny. So then we go from Jeff Jarrett defending the Intercontinental title against Razor Ramon. Now Jeff Jarrett would have the roadie. For those of you who don't know, that's Road Dogg, and he would face Razor Ramon with 1, 2, 3 Kid in this corner, which is X-Pac. I don't know what the hell Kid was wearing. It was like some Bruce Lee meets Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like, outfit with the dragon. I didn't know what it was, but it was just weird. Um, One thing that annoyed me, which I'm sure it annoyed most of the wrestlers, is that like the photographers and like the media people were standing right on the side of the ring where that faces the ramp that the wrestlers come out to. So Razor Ramon bum rushed the ring and knocked over some of the photographers. And then it was weird because he attacked Jeff Jarrett, threw him out of the ring, and then hit his pyro. And that wouldn't be the first time we'd see something like that tonight. It happened later on. I saw another sunset flip in that match. I'm like, really? We just saw a sunset flip. See, that's one thing that I don't like. I don't like when we see the same thing in every match or in multiple matches across the show. Don't do a sunset flip in a match if we just saw it, if that was the finish to the last match. Because, see, here's the thing. If a sunset flip finished the last match, and then you go out there, and you do a sunset flip, and the dude kicks out, then it just buries the move, and it just doesn't make sense. I didn't write down who did the sunset flip. I didn't really care. At one point, Double J was on the outside of the ring, and X-Pac, or 1, 2, 3 Kid, physically grabbed in front of the referee. He grabbed Double J and threw him into the ring. Now, he physically touched him in front of the referee, and there was no DQ. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry. I can't defend that. And I go back to I didn't review Rumble this year, but I remember I wrote a review on it on, I think, Yes Wrestling, and Ric Flair kissed Becky Lynch. He made physical contact with Becky Lynch in front of the referee, and there was no chastisement, there was no DQ, there was no nothing. How the hell? And you can argue, well, all he did was threw him in the ring. This ain't a lumberjack match. It's a normal damn match. And okay, moving on. Damn. So, the only thing in this match it was several things that looked good. But I really liked the buckle shot on the roadie. When Razor Ramon grabbed Roadie and threw him into the buckle, I loved the sound that it made, and it looked good. And it took the Roadie out for an appropriate amount of time. One thing I hate, and now this is just nitpicking. This is just strictly nitpicking. I hate, like, when you throw a kick, like a toe kick, and then, like, the wrestler catches it, and then, like, they hold it for an uncomfortable amount of time. I guess it's for you to get your balance, but, like, they just hold it, and an enziguri is coming. You either know they're going to hit an enziguri, or you know they're going to counter an enziguri. And that brings me to my next note. Like, I hate counters in wrestling that are counters. Like, it's going to come. And one example is, and I've seen Triple H do this so many times, he'll go for a pedigree, but like they'll edge to they'll like move to the edge of the ring to where Triple H is gonna get backdropped out of the ring. Like that's just I hate predictable counters like that. Um, I know that we had two double downs in this match, back to back. It was literally two double downs, and I immediately thought of my trainer when I saw this, and I laughed because he hates double downs. So whenever I did wrestle, I never did them in my matches because I know he hates double downs, and that made me laugh. Um, I know that Scott Hall kind of did the fallaway slam first, but I've just always liked the way that JBL did it. I just think that JBL does it better, or maybe the people that JBL does it to sells it better. I don't know. I like it when JBL does it. Um, Jeff Jarrett applied the figure four, and it just kind of dawned on me. I never really understood this move because it takes a few seconds to apply the figure four. It's not no quick ankle lock crossface type shit. This takes a while, and logically, you would think unless you're just knocked out, you should be able to counter the figure four every time. But then you got to go with the whole figure four, then the whole shoulders on the mat gimmick, and then the whole turn on your stomach, and then it becomes the Indian Deathlock on you gimmick, and it's, there was another double down. Yeah, it didn't last very long, but it was long enough for me to count it. I can't even read my own writing here, so I'm just not gonna read that. DQ, that's what that says. Yeah, this match ended on a DQ. This was a highly anticipated title match that ended on DQ. And WrestleMania is supposed to be your show to end your storylines, and this just continued it. I didn't understand that. I appreciate the sell by Razor. He really sold the knee. That impressed me. And it was just kind of hard to see Jim Ross just running around interviewing people. I'm just not used to seeing that. My generation is used to seeing JR at the table. But yeah, I gave that match a 2.5. Yeah. So we've not seen a 3 yet, and it's been 2 matches. So that means it can only get better, right? It can only get better from here. We've got a 2 and a 2.5, so maybe it'll pick up. What's the next match? We got Undertaker versus King Kong motherfucker. Oh, man. This was... Let me just start off by saying, I actually wrote a list of people over the years that have taken the Undertaker's urn. It is the most cliche thing. Like, here's my list here. And if I'm leaving any out, let me know. Let's see. IRS gave it to Ted DiBiase. Paul Heyman. Recently, because that's what happened during the match. Randy Orton. Bob Orton. CM Punk. After Paul Bearer was dead. I mean... I really hate these Undertaker cliches. Like, he's been buried alive 4 times. He's been burnt in the casket twice. Like, fuck, man. Undertaker cliches. But I digress. Actually, I'd rather talk about that than this stupid-ass match. Oh, my God. The match was boring. King Kong Bundy didn't do a damn thing. It was some strikes. It was a chin lock. And I could almost forgive every stupid thing I saw in that match if it had a better ending. But it ended with a clothesline. That's right. The streak that doesn't really mean anything now, but the streak that meant so much, the hollowed streak that the WWE video production tried to jam down your throats as the most protected thing in the WWE, one of his matches ended with a damn clothesline. And that's not even the most infuriating part of this match. Prior to the clothesline, Undertaker picked up King Kong Bundy and slammed him. in a scoop slam. Now, if you could scoop slam like a body slam, if you could body slam King Kong Bundy, how much more strength would it have taken for you to give him a tombstone pile driver? Because it is the same setup. It is the setup of a scoop slam or a body slam. You set up a tombstone the same way. Oh, but it ended with a clothesline. I just... and in case you're not sure, it's one of those Naomi clotheslines that she does. You know how Naomi does the flip into the clothesline thing? Yeah, that's how Undertaker, except when Undertaker did it, it looked less athletic than when Naomi did it. But that's part of the streak. And I'm sorry, you can call me a mark if you want to. You can say whatever the hell you want to say, but I do not acknowledge any Undertaker match at WrestleMania that didn't end in a tombstone. So you can cancel out WrestleMania 9 because that ended on a DQ. And WrestleMania 9 is my next video, by the way. So, yeah. 11 was some bullshit. 17 was some bullshit. Because you can't even say, oh, well, it was the last ride, it was this new gimmick. Because he beat Flair with the tombstone with the same gimmick the following year. Okay? And what was another one? WrestleMania 22 is very questionable. He hit a tombstone, but it was a casket match, and that, limits to my point. He was able to tombstone Mark Henry, but you can't tombstone King Kong Bundy. I know Mark Henry was after the fact, but it's the principle, man. And it was another WrestleMania 24 that pissed me off with the Hell's Gate, and people argue, well, he was just trying to get that submission over. No, you should have beat Edge with the tombstone, and that should have been it. And I will let WrestleMania 27 slide with the Hell's Gate submission finish because they were trying to tell a story, and I understood the story that they were telling. But it's bullshit. I gave that match a 1. I gave that match a 1, and you know what? Like I said, if it would have had a better finish, I may have given it a 1.1 or 1.2, or it may have even climbed up to a 1.5. But that clothesline, oh man, oh wow, man, I can't even. So we go to the tag title match. Also, they were doing this. They were doing this shit with Pamela Anderson. Like, where's Pamela Anderson? Like, who cares? And Bob Backlund had probably one of the best lines in one of the backstage segments when the dude was asking about Pamela Anderson. He's like, who's Pamela Anderson? That's probably the best part of the whole show. That is the best part of the whole show so far for me, is Bob Backlund. That was just... because he said what's on every wrestling fan's mind. Who the hell is Pamela Anderson? That was awesome. Best part of the show thus far. We move on to the tag title match. Smoking Guns are the defending champions. That's Billy and Bart Gunn. And Owen has a mystery partner, which turns out to be Yokozuna. And I was never really big on Yokozuna. I just gotta say, Billy Gunn still looks the same today. I don't know if it's the steroids. I don't know if he found the fountain of youth. I don't know what it is, but that guy still looks the exact same way now as he did then, and I don't know how he does it. I really enjoy the tag team maneuvers the Smoking Guns showed in this match. So many tandem offense maneuvers that I really enjoyed. It kind of sucks because I ended up actually falling asleep in the middle of this match, so I went back and watched it. Now I have worked a 12-hour shift today, and I've been up since 2:00, and it's like 8 now. So I went back and watched it, and I thought it was a solid match. It kind of showed off Owen just being a douche, which was, I mean, may he rest in peace, but it's just, Yokozuna did the bonsai drop. I think Owen acted like he was going to go for the sharpshooter, and he just pinned him. Like, that is great. Owen Hart, man, is missed. without a doubt. Um, so then we go to the I Quit match with Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. And Piper got a pop, and at that point, that was the loudest pop I heard until Bret came out. I mean, I think Bret probably got the loudest pop of the night. Um, I actually thought the tag match was better than the I Quit match. I gave the tag match a 2.7. I gave the I Quit match a 2.5, and I'll tell you why. Because I kind of felt like with it being an I Quit match, it just took Bret and Backlund out of their environment. It was like putting William Regal in a ladder. Oh, okay, wait, that's happened before. Yeah, I don't know. It was just I enjoyed the wrestling part of it because I know that's what they're both good at. Um, Backlund's counters to the sharpshooter were really slick. I just love how he countered it. Um, then Brett did a figure four, and I bitched about that earlier. I mean, we saw a figure four earlier. Why are you doing it again? Um, but it made sense here. It did make sense here because one thing I noticed that I liked was the continuity between Brett and Backlund. Brett went after Backlund's legs. Backlund went after Brett's arm and shoulder for they went after the body parts associated with their finishing maneuvers. However, Brett still beat Backlund with his own maneuver after working the legs. I don't I don't get that. That there's lack of continuity there. Like how do you start off working the legs to get your sharpshooter? You even applied a figure four which works the legs, but you still be Backlund with the chicken wing, crossface chicken wing. I didn't like that, and I'm a little bit. I will admit that I'm a little bit harsh when it comes to Bret Hart because I'm a Shawn Michaels fan. I still respect his work, but that just did not make sense to me. It made sense to the fact of you're beating Backlund at his own game, but you spent the match working the legs. So realistically speaking, if you spent the match working his legs, why would his arm be hurt enough for him to tap out? Am I overthinking it? Maybe I am. But that's my job. That's what I do. I analyze shit and I rip it apart and I put it back together and I rip it apart and I put it back together again. This is what I do, man. Mark Henry, please, if you watch this, don't kill me. Um, yeah. So after that, actually between the tag, oh yeah, after this I Quit match, I had to get up and leave. I had to like stretch my legs and get some air. And I went to Handles and then got some ice cream. And I figured, okay, I got two matches left. I got Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, and then I got Lawrence Taylor and okay, so I'm gonna save my tangent for later about the WWE Championship and where it should be on the card. I'm gonna save that for later because I want to build up. I want to build up to that, and I'm still kind of worn out after the Undertaker rant that I had. So I'm gonna save that for the end of the video so I can build up to it. I'm just gonna review the show for now. Woosah. All right. So Shawn Michaels versus Kevin Nash. I had high expectations for this match because it's Shawn Michaels and he's my favorite wrestler. So, it didn't surpass my expectations, but it certainly lived up to it. It was everything that you want to see in a Shawn Michaels match, if you're a Shawn Michaels fan. Shawn Michaels has his shine at the beginning, does a bunch of high spots, basically makes the bigger guy, whether it's uh, Nash, Sid, Vader, Taker, whoever he wrestles, makes the bigger guy chase him. And then, well, of course, Michaels was the heel here, but still. He had his shine, he had his moments. Nash had his moments. Uh, I thought that the Jenny McCartney thing, if you would, I've talked about this at Fastlane with the Edge and Christian and the New Day thing. If you would, and I said it at Fastlane, if you would have took that segment away, it wouldn't have made the pay per view better. It wouldn't have made the pay per view worse. It wouldn't have done anything. I don't give a shit about Jenny McCartney or Pamela Anderson. Okay, I don't give two shits. I ain't gonna lie. Jenny McCartney without a bra, awesome. I mean that's cool. But at the end of the day, I am watching this show because I want to see wrestling. That is what I'm looking forward to. I don't give a damn about Jenny McCartney. I don't care about Pamela Anderson and their hepatitis ass. I don't give a shit. Okay? But they spent like every backstage segment was where's Pamela Anderson? Where's Pamela Anderson? Where's Pamela Anderson? Who cares? Like they built oh man. All right. So I'll spoil the surprise, okay? Pamela Anderson turned face and came out with Kevin Nash instead of Shawn Michaels. Jenny McCartney came out with Shawn Michaels. And so enough of that bullshit. Everything in this match was perfect except the end. I don't know whether Michaels was tired or what, but that jackknife was horrible. And I have heard this from Kevin Nash's own mouth in an interview, and Nash said this. He said that Michaels could take. Well, I'm not exactly sure what the exact quote was, but basically Kevin Nash said that Michaels could take an invisible power bomb, or Michaels could power bomb himself better than the power bomb that he took in that match. And I had heard this interview like a long time ago, but I never cared to go. I never cared to go and actually watch the match or see for myself. But now I watched the match and I saw it for myself, and wow, I'm just gonna chalk it up to Shawn Michaels was tired. That's it. Also, I hate to bring up those bitches again, but the lack of continuity. And Jerry Lawler is awesome because Lawler pointed this out. Why the fuck was Jenny McCartney cheering for Kevin Nash towards the end of the match? Like, that. And then, you people also, IWC, yeah, I'm talking to you. Y'all bitch about Roman Reigns. You bitch about John Cena having 5 moves of doom, where I guess Roman Reigns has 2 moves of doom. Kevin Nash might have been the originator of that, well, I don't know, because Hogan didn't really do a lot either, but, I mean, Nash really has like 3 or 4 moves. He has a forearm, he has a big boot, he has a sidewalk slam, which he actually got that sidewalk slam off pretty nice, because I think Michaels went up to the top rope to do something, and Kevin Nash caught him in a sidewalk slam. And he has the snake eyes, which I don't even think he hit in this match. And then he has the jackknife, and that is pretty much it. So Kevin Nash was able to be WWE champion for over a year with 5 moves. So I mean, I don't know. I gave that match a 3. I gave it a 3, and I'm not being biased because Shawn Michaels was in it. Gave it a 3 because it was a good match. It was the best match on the card. And so now we go to the main event with Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow. And nothing against Bam Bam Bigelow at all. I think he's an amazing talent. I think he is one of the best big men or agile big men that I've ever seen. I think he's paved the way for people like Kevin Owens, which that's the best comparison that I can make. But this was horrible. It was rubbish. It was rubbish. And also, I respect the fact that Lawrence Taylor actually took it seriously, and he trained, and he worked out, and he got. But just beyond that, man, Stephen Amell did a better job at SummerSlam, whatever year that was, than Lawrence Taylor. Stephen Amell also wasn't a fucking main event either, but yeah, I gave that a 1.9. I fell asleep twice towards the end of this match. Twice. And you can argue, yeah, I've been up since 2 a.m. I worked a 12-hour shift, but twice I fell asleep to where I had to wake up and go back and watch the ending of the match. And it was a shoulder tackle off the top rope, and that was it. That was it. Also, part of the reason why I've kept falling asleep is why the hell did it take Pat Patterson 5 years to explain the rules of the match? Like, it took him forever to explain like, I guess he was telling each other's crew to, the $1 million corporation to stay, keep them out of the ring and then keep Lawrence Taylor's crew out of the ring and all that. But that was just stupid. But the best part of the match, was Ted DiBiase at the end. You lost to a football player. You lost to a football player. That was funny. Ted DiBiase is funny. But now it's time for my rant now, because I have to rant about this, and it's going to be a very marquee rant. So I apologize ahead of time, and it may be a marquee rant, but it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So here we go. The placement of... Okay, well, hold on. Wait. The overall rating of the show was a 2.228. So I just didn't even... 2.23, 2.2. It's a 2.2. Once you average all my ratings and divide it, and, the whole math gimmick. 2.2 for a WrestleMania. Now... this is just my opinion. I'm sure others have reviewed the show and maybe they had a different opinion. But 2.2 for a WrestleMania? That is sad. That is sad. If I can go back to my notes, Fastlane got a 3.2, and that's just a regular that's a regular ass pay-per-view. But geez, I tell you what, and you're not gonna compare Fastlane 2016 to WrestleMania 11. I understand that, but for WrestleMania you expect more. But here's my tangent here. The WWE title. I believe that if you're presenting the WWE Championship as your main title, as your main focus of the show, then that should be the main event. Bottom line, or if anything, your champion should be in the main event. WrestleMania 1, Hogan was the WWE champion, and he was in the main event. Even though he wasn't defending the title, he was in the main event. Okay? I've done my research. Actually, I haven't done any research at all. This is just off the top of my head. But the only WrestleManias that I can think of to where a championship didn't close the show was this shit fest I just watched, WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 26, and WrestleMania 28. And I will explain all three of them. Well, I will explain 26 and 28 and why that made sense. 26's main event was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. There was no way in hell, and they learned their lesson at WrestleMania 25, that there was nothing that was going to top Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. It wasn't. At WrestleMania 25, after Michaels and Taker came on, nobody cared about the triple threat. The WWE title match that year was Triple H and Orton, which was doomed from the start because, you're presenting a personal issue with Triple H and Orton attacking Triple H's wife and all that. You're building a blood and guts fight, but yet you're making it so Triple H loses the title if he gets disqualified. It makes no sense. But it wouldn't have mattered if that was a blood and guts street fight anyway, because nothing was going to beat Michaels and Taker. So having that be Michaels' last match ever, having that main event made sense. 28 made sense, even though CM Punk and Jericho was the better match that show. They put on a way a hell of a better performance that show, and I think it's because they wrestled with a chip on their shoulder, and God bless them for doing that. Rock and Cena took a year to build up. It took a year to build that up. So how could you not have that as the main event? I get it, but this shit right here, really? You're gonna put a NFL player and a mid-carder at best in the main event of your biggest show of the year over your WWE Championship? Are you fucking serious? What? Oh man, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that meeting. I would have loved it, and they would have kicked me out, man, because I would have buzzed all over their ass. I would have made so much noise. Give me a fucking break. The WWE Championship. Oh, I can't even wrap my mind around this. I can't. And I've said this before. And I go back to Fastlane again with that segment. And it's the same thing with celebrities. If a celebrity can add something to the product, then okay, I'm okay with it. But if you can do without it, then do without it, and put more focus on the wrestlers. Okay, even with Jon Stewart at SummerSlam. Okay, yeah, he cost Cena the match, but at least he added to the story. Okay, and he did what everyone wanted him to do anyway, because no one wanted Cena to win. And at the very least, if you're gonna put Lawrence Taylor and in the main event against Bam Bam Bigelow, then you better make sure that match is better than the WWE Championship match, which it wasn't. This to show you how much I hate WrestleMania 11, and I haven't even watched WrestleMania 9 yet. So, but to show you how much I hate WrestleMania 11, I really feel like if you were watching, say you watched WrestleMania 10 in 1994, and you fell out of wrestling around November of 94, and say you came back around January 1996 when Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble. Let's just say you just missed that part of wrestling. If you would have missed WrestleMania 11, you wouldn't have missed shit. You could literally erase WrestleMania 11 from existence, and it would not have made a difference at all in the fabric of time in the WWE. I feel like if you would have completely just erased WrestleMania 11, Shawn Michaels could have still built Shawn Michaels up as a contender to beat Bret at WrestleMania 12. It wouldn't have made a difference. It was just one of those WrestleManias that just why? Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be the death of me. I swear to God, it is. This is gonna be the death of me. But yeah, WrestleMania 11, 2.2 for Mania, and wow. So that's my review, man, on WrestleMania 11. But I'm just a gluttony for torture. So if you have any other reviews, any other shows that you want requested, leave a comment underneath this video and request the shows, and I will begrudgingly do it. And if it's as dumb as WrestleMania 11, you're going to hear me bitch for 40 minutes. Sorry. That's just the way it is. I'm Warren Freeman. I'm an admin over on Yes Wrestling. And you guys have a wonderful night.